Welcome to this new moon solar eclipse channeled meditation for December 2021. Please find a quiet space to sit, feet firmly planted on the ground, spine straight, and let's begin with our breath. Breathing in and out, in and out. Just relaxing into the full present moment, dropping our shoulders, loosening our necks, and letting go of any of the stress, struggle, strife, and resistance of the day. Letting it all down, coming down to the ground, and just letting go. As you continue to breathe, you can bring your awareness to the mental body and then the physical body, following on to the emotional body, and finally the spiritual body. We'll work with each of the four bodies to let go of what no longer serves us and determine what should be there instead. Now is a time of amplification, and the vibrations that we hold in the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies will be magnified. And so we want to fully release lower vibrational frequencies that are keeping us contracted, that are slowing our journey forward, that are preventing our full expansion and our awakening to remember who we really are. The powerful presence of the four bodies creates our multi-dimensionality, and through them, we lift our awareness into possibility and potential. So let's first journey into the mental body. What's there in the mental body that's no longer serving you? Are there old, stale thoughts? Thoughts you'd care not to think? Thoughts that work against you and prohibit your progress? Allowing yourself just a moment to witness any thoughts that you can be done with, that you can let go of, that you are not forced to hold. What thoughts about yourself are no longer serving you? What thoughts about others no longer serve? And what thoughts about the current reality that you're living in no longer serve you because they're only reproducing the reality? See these thoughts as forms almost like crumbled up pieces of paper. Something to discard because you no longer need them. You're done with them now, and you can let them go. Take a moment to take each thought and put it into a receptacle like a trash can. You might see yourself throwing crumbled pieces of paper that represent each of these thoughts into a trash can. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Know that you are powerful enough to let them go, fully, totally, and completely. Just take a moment to feel how much space you've created as you've discarded old, stale thoughts that no longer serve you. And now let's move on to the physical body. What pains you? Where is your stiffness? Where is tense? As you move from your head all the way down to your toes, just taking a moment to find what hurts you. And as you discover what hurts you, I want you to do the same thing. Take the pain from your body and transfer it to a piece of paper. Crumble it up into a ball and discard it. You might thank it for being there, but you can inform it it's no longer needed. You have supreme authority over the physical body, and what you tell it to do will be done. The body is designed to respond to what you give it, not just by way of food, vitamins, minerals, but by what you give to it in your thinking, your imagination, and your feelings. Immerse yourself in the role of healer as you awaken to your powers to both heal and create anything you desire. Continue to discard your pain. When you feel you've done the work, feel how open and spacious the body is. And now let's move on to the emotional body. What's there? Is it messy? Is there mayhem? Does your heart hurt? What's in the emotional body that no longer serves you? Take a moment to locate the things that you're ready to let go. Perhaps it's an old relationship, a grudge, something you regret. It's okay to let it go. It doesn't serve you to hold on to it, so let it go. See it as a paper, a piece of paper that you can crumble up and discard. You can thank it for being there, and you can ask that it leave its wisdom behind. But the pain must now go. The confusion must go now. And the only thing that is to be left is the lessons, the messages, and the gifts from the pain. Take a moment to discard all that no longer serves you in the emotional body. Moving on to the spiritual body. What's missing here? Are there unnecessary attachments that are weighting you down into a very dense realm? What needs to be lifted? What needs to be let go of? Is there space for your connection to your source? Is there space in the spiritual body to be connected to like-minded people that share similar heart spaces? Whatever is preventing you from your expansion in the spiritual body, let it go. You can crumble it up as a piece of paper and discard it. Let it go. And now, as we've cleared much space in the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies, we can ask ourselves, what shall I put there instead? If anything, there's no rush. But it's something we do want to be intentional about. In the mental body, we might want to put boundaries, whereby we refuse to take on other people's thoughts. We may want to put in positive thoughts, thoughts that are aligned with what we want to manifest in going forward. Maybe we put in thoughts about our personal development and who we want to become as a future self. Take a moment to think, what would you put into the mental body here and now? There's no rush. You do not need to flood your awareness with too much, but just to be aware of how important it is to be intentional with your thinking and with the contents of the mental body. When you're ready, we can move on to the physical body. What would you have your physical body do in order to be in prime condition, optimal shape, to retain its longevity, vitality, and youth? How will you build light in the physical body? Just take a moment to consider what you want to command your physical body to do. This is the doing self. This is the action self. Maybe you will be meditating more often or doing more cardiovascular activity, perhaps stretching or getting up from your desk more often. Maybe some breath work. How will you honor your physical body so that it will serve you in the longest term possible? Now moving on to the emotional body. How would you like to feel going forward? Strong, clear, confident, full of joy, knowing that your feelings are magnetic and they draw to you frequencies that are of similar vibration. They dictate your experience inside of reality. And so how do you choose to feel? You have supreme authority over each of the 4 bodies. Only you decide how you feel. So take a moment and decide, how will I feel in going forward? And moving on to the spiritual body, how would you enliven this aspect of self? This all-powerful, all-knowing aspect of self that is so often neglected and disregarded. How will you strengthen your connection to your source? How will you practice your innate abilities to both heal and manifest your life experiences? Where will you draw the energies from? You might consider more time in stillness to become increasingly self-aware and aware of the energies around you that can either lower your vibration or help you to raise it. Perhaps divination in order to increase your intuition. More meditation, perhaps. What will you do in the spiritual body to enliven it? We've now made space in each of the 4 bodies. And in doing so, we've turned over mayhem and messes by giving them the potential for magic and miracles. And as you continue to work with this meditation, the magic and miracles will come from what you decide to hold in each of the 4 bodies. Your work now is to take supreme authority over the bodies. No one can decide for you what will go into the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So what will you do now? Will you continue to practice to become increasingly conscious of what is in the bodies and to intentionally orchestrate the inputs of each of the bodies? This is where we're guided. We're guided now to become the creators of our consciousness, to become artists of consciousness. And our consciousness streams throughout the 4 bodies. The more aware you become of your multidimensional self, the more likely you are to take the supreme authority you need to take, and to be fully, totally, and completely in control of your own consciousness. And so it is.